Well guys, welcome back to the shop. I'm Chris with M7 Metalworks. Today we're going to work on this tractor again, the Oliver 550. Since restoration, there's just a few things that have bothered me about this tractor. I got a little bit of leaking under on these Rockshaft seals. I never did replace them originally. And then the brake cross shaft seals. They're actually not really leaking. Sorry, Bucky's a little excited about Rocket over here. We've got a new kitten. So I've got to replace these brake cross shaft seals as well. And then these front power steering assist cylinders. So I've got to replace these cylinders up front because the chrome shafts, the chrome rods, the piston rods, they're just pitted, and even if I replace those seals, they're still going to leak. And I'm getting quite a bit of fluid out of them right now. So I got to drain everything. I got to drain the transmission fluid because that's the only way we can replace the brake cross shaft seals. I got to take out or drain the hydraulic fluid so that I can replace the Rockshaft seals. And then a power steering fluid will get drained out when I undo these lines for the power steering cylinders. So basically I'm gonna drain a whole bunch of oil. Now I am gonna probably try to break these videos up. And the reason for that is the guy that wants to replace his brake cross shaft seal may not be interested in watching me replace a Rockshaft seal or power assist cylinder. So I'm gonna break them up. I probably won't even bother recording the brake cross shaft seal simply because I've already got a video on a Super 55 on it. So if you need to watch that, go back and watch the Super 55 brake cross shaft seal replacement. It's in my video collection. Well guys, first things first, I think what we'll do is we'll get this seat out of our way. That'll give us a little bit more room to work on these brake cross shaft seals. And then also we'll pull the pins on this, get the lower links out of the way, and that way hopefully we will have less things on our way. Real simple, there's just one bolt here for the seat, and then I can slide the whole thing out. Hang in there, pretty simple. We're just going to drop those down and let them rest right there. Go ahead and stick the pin back in there. Let me do this. I'm afraid I'll lose the nut and washer. Not that that'd be a big deal. I've got a lot of them. But. So again, I'm just pulling the pins for these lower links. That'll allow me to drop those. Trying to be careful not to chip up my paint too much. Okay guys, so hopefully you can see some of this. So you see this ring right here, that's just a little C-clip. And so I've got a pair of pliers. They're specially designed for those types of things. You'll still have to get a screwdriver in there and kind of pry that thing out. But let me get you a different angle. So you can see right there, and there's where I got to get my pliers. And you can buy a pair of pliers that's specially made for this. And these are Wild brand or Wheeled brand. I'm not sure how you pronounce that. But they're in Kansas. They're a company in Kansas that make these. They're USA made. And these aren't real expensive. So let's see if I can get you a little bit of a better view on those. They're not real expensive at all. And they're really well made. Pretty good. All right. You gotta be careful with these because obviously, those can spring out on you, just like that. Didn't go far, it's actually right under you guys. So there's the little C-clip. Fairly easy to take off. Let's hope that the Rockshaft arm is just as easy. Now I am going to put a little punch mark, I think, on this, guys. I'm guessing this will only go on one way and that the splines are designed in a way to take it in one way, but I don't know that for sure. So the seal that we need to get is right back here. So we've got to knock this off. And as you can see, it's coming off real simply. So once you pull that pin, or that C-clip, sorry, just kind of work that thing off of there. I do think, before I pull that off, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just take my marker and I'm just gonna put a little mark right through there, just so I know where to put that thing in. This will just help ensure that I get it in the exact same spot. So all I've done is just put a dot on each side, and that way when I put it back together, I can ensure that I get it in the same spot. Now, yours may not come apart this easy. It is splined in a way that's unique. So, well, let me show you. So it is splined in that it'll only go on one way. So the wide spline on the arm itself slides in here. Now we'll clean all this up. So, I mean, it came off easy, but we'll clean it up so it slides on even easier. And then of course, you can clearly see the seal that we've got to get is right there. Now I think the best way to do that is probably just to drill in here, put a little screw and try to get some leverage on that screw and pluck it out. I think first thing we'll do is clean this up a little bit. Just cleaning those splines. Just removing the gunk. It'll help it slide on much better. And I just prefer things that are clean when I put them back together. It's not absolutely critical. I mean, you've seen it came off pretty easy. Okay guys, so the next step in this process is we need to get the hydraulic fluid out of here so that when we pull these seals, we're not just dumping hydraulic fluid everywhere. So to do that, we've got a little a plug here that we'll take off. That's a 3/8 inch plug. So we'll pull that out, just loosen it up, okay? And then I'm gonna use, this is actually the old line from my power steering. I replaced all the lines with new lines, but this is an old line from that system. And I noticed that it fits this, so I held on to it just for that reason. It just makes it kind of convenient because I can essentially screw this into the plug fitting there and run that end into my 5-gallon bucket, which I have below, and essentially run the hydraulic fluid out. Now, the way this works is once you've got this plugged in, I'll start the tractor up, and that fluid's gonna come out automatically. I don't even remember the last time I did it, if I even worked my hydraulic levers. I don't think I did. Either way, we're gonna get the fluid out of here. And once we stop seeing fluid come out of my tube at the bottom and into this bucket, you have to shut the tractor off at that point. So it's very important. You don't want to run it dry for a long period of time. So as soon as I stop seeing fluid come out of this tube, that's when I'll shut the tractor off. So for now, let's get this plug out of there. We'll probably see a little bit of fluid come out of here. I'm not sure how much, but we got our thing here ready to go. So I can kind of act quickly. Yeah, we've got some fluid coming out. Not a ton, but some. So yeah, if you act pretty quickly there, you won't get a whole lot of fluid out. That's plenty tight. All right, now we're going to start the tractor up. I'm going to back you guys up just a little bit. Turn my fuel on. I'm in neutral. I know I'm in neutral. I started it yesterday and haven't touched it. Guess I gotta hit the clutch. Give it just a little chill. Call that good. Starting to get a little bit of, well, a lot of air in it now. There's my bucket. So there's how I got that fitted in. I leaked some oil. And then that was really pretty clear oil until I started getting all the air in it. And that's kind of fluffed it up and given it that kind of milky look. But I didn't see any water in it at all. So that's good. Buck. Alrighty. There we go. There's one hole. Just going to use a simple sheet metal screw, and if I can't get that. Alrighty, got her. She's in there pretty good. Just going to drill a little above it. Doesn't drill particularly hard, I will say that much. All right. Just so you guys can see a little bit. So I've drilled in the side of that. This is the third hole that I've done. And put a bigger screw in it. And she's just about ready to go now. We can screw that in a little further. Yep, she's free now. She's free now. All right, Rocket, I hear you, buddy. Just to facilitate this going on, hopefully a little easier, we're just going to put on just some cellophane, and this will do one thing very important, is it will kind of lessen the edges that we have here, and hopefully will prevent our new seal from getting cut up or on anything. So I'm going to have to just tap that in. You know, I think, guys, maybe the best way to do this, to go about this, is maybe using this to tap it in. We're going to see. Now, can I get my cellophane off of here? Yep. Okay. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to throw a little bit of lube on here. Okay, so I see my thick shank, and I see where I need to go in right here. So I just need to locate that. I think maybe the best way to do that, put a little mark. I just put a little mark right here, and that just shows me where the thick part of that shank is so I can line it up here. Just a little bit easier, I think. That looks about right, yep. Okay guys, now, so what I think I'll do now is I think I'll grab myself a hammer, and I'm gonna basically press that in with this. I'm gonna punch it in. So I'm gonna start out with this type of a hammer, and maybe I can do it without damaging anything. It is going in. Yeah, it's going in. Hope you guys can see that. Doing my best to not hit my own fenders here. Not particularly easy. All right, so now I'll pull that off. See, that's another advantage to having those things so clean. There we go. Well, that's flush there. This is just an old junky socket that I never use until now. Thought it'd be a good idea to get you in here and kind of let you look so you can see that kind of a bluish green sealant, and that just kind of flakes off there. It wedges up in between the cast and everything. So you will chip up your paint doing this, obviously, but honestly, in the whole scheme of things, that's pretty minimal. So now we'll go to the other side. If you had a forked pry bar, that might work just a little bit better than this one. There we go. Yeah, she's out now. There it is. I'd like to say it's easy peasy, but it takes a bit to get that thing out. The open end goes toward the inside, that captures the oil. So I'll slide on, just a little lip right there. We'll pull that off. And now we'll put some more gear oil on. Mark where my wide spline is at. My wide spline goes here. You can clearly see, you can't clearly see it probably, but I can. And so I'll just line those two up. Remember, this can only go on one way. It's not, I can't put it on wrong. So if it slides in, then you know you got it right. All right. Using this dead blow hammer again. It worked last time, so. It's not flush, but I'll pull this back out. Now that it's lined up, I can take my hammer and kind of work it in, and a little punch and kind of work it in gently. A little easier to work now because it's in the hole. Just gotta gently work it around the perimeter. Again, they can only go on one way. Now, you can see right in this one how you can't see where the ring goes. You've got to give that thing a shove on the other side. I'm just hitting it with the dead blow, and that gets me my ring exposed so that I can now put my C-clip on, okay? And we're going to try to stretch them out and slide them on there. Okay, I like it. All right, let's just make sure. Yep, I think we're on all the way. So now we're going to get it that way, and I'm doing the exact same thing on this side. Slide her on, plenty of room for my C-clip. And I believe she's on. Now that since we've got the hydraulic fluid drained, we're going to go ahead and take off the filter and replace it. I will, I think, go ahead and put a little cloth underneath that because you know it's going to leak. So the only reason I've removed this is so that I can get my wrench in there without too much trouble. It's a relatively tight fit. This is a 1 3/4, I believe. Yeah, 1 3/4. So put my big socket on there. I'm using a Tecton 3/4 inch ratchet set, and I'm real pleased with it. Oh, whew. Oh man. Once she gives, but boy, that baby is on there to begin with. Guessing I'm gonna have a mess here. We'll see. This is the first time I've ever changed this. Not terrible, it's gonna run down there. Not overly concerned about my wire here because my wire is going to be changed. Okay, so there's my media filter, and it looks like I've got something else in here. See if I can empty that out, just so everybody can see that. That's just a spring. It goes down inside the cup, and of course that goes on there. So there's that. Very nice. My filter looks perfect, actually. All right, guys, I put this in a little plastic jar here with some diesel fluid in it, and I'm going to put that in the ultrasonic cleaner. I have a brand new one, but since this one here looks like brand new, other than it's got a little bit of the old fluid in it, and the old fluid, like I said, looked really good. I'm going to go ahead and put this in the ultrasonic cleaner, and we'll just reuse that one, and I'll keep my brand new one on hold until we need it. So, trying to stay in the camera frame here. Take it straight in like that. My cat, you can probably hear, is not happy that I booted him out. Just want to make sure I'm centered. Feels like I am. It's a little bit tricky. All right. Wrench on here. Put it all nice and snug. All right, we'll replace our transmission oil cap so we don't get any debris down there. It's not going to matter, and we'll be draining that here shortly. All right, guys, so now that we've got the hydraulic fluid filled up, we're going to go ahead and start the tractor now, let it fill up the filter area as well, and then we'll recheck our fluids and make sure. Right now I'm just ever slightly so high, so I think that's probably a good thing because I'll lose a little bit in the pump and everything. So let's go ahead and get some of the air out of the system. So here's the arms back on. I went ahead and I've wiped everything down. We're essentially put back together. It took a little bit of time just to put the 3-point hitch lower links back on. And I think we are ready to roll. We've got the proper level on our oil. And guys, that does it for the Rockshaft seal replacement. I hope that helps some of you. Don't forget to hammer that like button. I'm Chris with M7 Metalworks. Until the next video, thanks for watching.